Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Parsons Acts one-on-one, April 14th, 2022 broadcast taught by yours truly, Pastor Pamela Parson. And I'm so excited to be back on in this program. We've been off because of some technical difficulties, but we are happy that we were on last night with no technical issues. So we're looking forward tonight having this broadcast with no issues. We're going to be doing things a little different even tonight because um, we were down for so long and could not get on the internet, could not do many things because uh, it was more than one type of issue. I couldn't even use the computer. So I'm doing it a little different so that I can save some time here. However, I want to welcome everyone to these sessions. Everybody's welcome, not just some. And wanted to say to the Hackerstonians, don't forget, we need your certification forms to help us continue to provide such information as we have been giving out. And I also want to say that uh, because of technical issues with the internet and with, I don't know what was going on with Staples website and everything, we were not able to get the flyers out to advertise that we were to start April 4th or April 5th for the face-to-face classes at Second Christian Church at 65 West North Avenue. Uh, we will be there on Tuesday. I believe that date is the 19th or it's the 19th because I believe Easter is on the 18th or 17th. We know it's going to be Tuesday at 1 p.m. So I should have checked that out before I got on. But uh, Tuesday, today is the 14th, tomorrow's the 15th, Saturday's the 16th, Sunday's the 17th, Monday's the 18th. And like I said, I'm confirming that Tuesday is April 19th. So those of you who would like to come out to the face classes, we are practicing uh, health precautions because of COVID. We are wearing masks, and not only are we wearing masks, but we're social distancing. So anybody that wants to come, they're welcome to come to the classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Tuesdays, we're having wounded families, and on Thursdays, we're having Parsons Acts. So you can govern yourselves accordingly and feel free to join us there or live on Facebook or YouTube. Just wanted to talk to you briefly before I start the class that, the topic tonight is opiates and club drugs. Oftentimes, because of trauma, we suppress the trauma by excluding ourselves from family, friends, everyone. And we end up starting to take drugs, alcohol, whatever you want to do, especially when you don't know how to address it or how to cope with it. You haven't had the proper treatment or training. So you tend to pick up things that surround you. And I don't usually, because I know what has been said, And as I keep forestating and repeating that we cannot deal with one part of the human nature and not deal with the complete human nature, which is a threefold nature of man. And I'm reminded of a passage of scripture and a song, my help coming from God. And that's what has gotten me through many things. Keep saying that over and over and over and over, because when we pick up and start using things that surrounds us, it may help for a moment, but when you wake up or when you come down off the high, the problem still exists. So I'm recommending that you tonight seek the higher power that you know about, or seek God, who is the creator. Seek for treatment through an agency that's close to you, wherever you are, whether it be in Hagerstown, there are NAA, there's the hotline that you can contact. And if you can't find it, I'm sure that we can both try to find some help for you. But it's time out for trying to cope with it on your own or deal with it on your own, but try to get some help. We hear every day of so many people who OD, and not only OD, but take their life. And, we are here to provide or help you with your issues by making you whole. And the only way that we can do it is give you the proper guidance to help you take control and be safe. We talked about taking control and being in control of your own life last night in our anger management and wounded families broadcast. So tonight we're just going to ride on that piggyback ride on that, because we know that it all goes hand in hand. And usually, if you've been traumatized, you try to treat yourself, self medicate. You try not to be angry, but you are. You try to control, but you can't control because you're out of control. But and then you end up not only wounding yourself, but wounding your family, your friends, your coworkers. But tonight we want to help you get yourself together and heal. Because as we stated last night, he wants to heal you. He wants to give you love. And he loves each and every one of us where we are. He'll meet you right there where you are and help you change to a healthier life. All right, we're going to go on to our lesson. And it talks about the importance of total abstinence. Abstinence from all substances that affect the brain, even alcohol, greatly increases the chances of successful recovery. And that's our aim tonight. We want to see each and every one that has issues with any type of drug, any type of alcohol, to have a successful recovery. And tonight we mainly want to talk about opiates. We did talk about heroin a few weeks ago, but tonight we are going to talk about opiates, and they are natural or synthetic substances that act on the brain's opiate receptors. And I feel like this anything that's going to do that much uh, damage or affect me that kind of way, I don't need it. And it's a dull pain and relieve anxiety that comes from thinking about pain. Sounds like to me it's only temporary. People abuse opiates because they provide a feeling of euphoria or a rush. And a lot of people like that. I can't cope with that. So I'd rather not get that or have that feeling. Physical effects of opiates. Um, when you ingest these pills or whatever form that it may be, it constricts the pupils, flushes the skin, heavy feeling in your limbs. And the rush is followed by a confused, drowsy feeling that lasts several hours. I think that's why people are using it more and more. It's becoming more known on the streets because many love that confused state or that drowsy feeling and love it because it lasts for hours. They don't want that feeling that only lasts for 5 to 10 minutes. Breathing and heart rate slows down during this period. Um, Opiates intolerance. Higher and higher dosages are required to achieve its effects, and this is called tolerance. Eventually, this drug is taken mainly to prevent withdrawal, not to get high. Dependence versus addiction. Those who use opiates are prescribed to relieve pain rarely become addicted. Long-term use can result in tolerance and dependence. Addiction is characterized by craving for the drug and using it even when it causes harm. And that is not good. When you're addicted to something and you crave it and you want to use it in spite of it causing any kind of harm, that's serious. Withdrawal from opiates. Withdrawal occurs when someone who is dependent or addicted stops taking opiates suddenly. Withdrawal symptoms: severe muscle and bone pain, trouble sleeping, diarrhea, vomiting, and cold flashes. Um, Many of us have seen people who have abused prescription opiates, and the main prescription opiates people abuse are codeine, oxycodone or oxycontin, Percodan or Percocet, hydrocodone, which is Vicodin, mepridine, Demerol, and hydromorphone, which is dilu- dilaudid. I may be pronouncing that wrong, but you can write this down or review this broadcast at a later time to make sure that you are familiar with these drugs and how people abuse these drugs. Oxycodone use patterns. The number of people abusing oxycodone has increased every year since the drug was introduced in 1995. And in 2004, 5% of high school seniors said they use oxycodone at least once. And we're going to get the facts about this drug, and it's a time release medicine for cancer and back pain. People forge prescriptions and rob pharmacies to obtain oxycodone illegally. People abuse oxycodone by crushing the tablet and swallowing or snorting it or dissolving it in water and injecting it. That's why I said whatever use uh, there may be, because only taking it by mouth is not the only way that you can abuse opiates. The street names include Oxy, OC, Kickers, Killers, Blue, and Hillbilly Heroin. The dangers of oxycodone is when people crush tablets before taking them, the danger of overdose is increased. So when you know somebody, or if you're crushing this drug before you take it, it is very dangerous. And like all opiates, oxycodone is highly addictive when it is abused. And the different pattern of heroin, 1 million Americans may be addicted to heroin among people younger than 26. It is linked to more deaths than any other substance except alcohol. Pure forms of heroin that can be smoked or snorted have led to increased use, especially among young people. Smoking or snorting heroin can lead to addiction just as injecting heroin does. The facts about heroin: the heroin is a white to dark brown powder, as we discussed before, and it often is mixed with other substances like sugar or starch or poison, strychnine. And the dangers of this drug is the need to purchase and use heroin causes people to ignore other aspects of their lives, like family and loved ones, finances, and legal concerns. And this neglect can lead to weight loss, sickness, money problems, criminal activity, housing, and family problems. And overdose is a persistent danger with heroin. I know it may seem like we're moving fast, but like I said, you can pull this up at a later time and go over it to better inform yourself, better educate yourself, better uh, bring awareness of what causes what in your life, or what symptoms you're having, because you can make it personal, and or you can look at some information that will give you more insight on what your surroundings are with other family or friends. Excuse me. Heroin disease risk. Okay, injection drug use is linked to 1/3 of HIV cases and more than 1/2 of hepatitis C cases. So, what are you saying here? It's important, it's necessary, it's essential. Whatever, if you use heroin or inject drugs, it's more likely you could be at risk of having HIV or hepatitis C. So I admonish you to even have that looked at to check to see if you have HIV or if your family member or loved one or associate or coworker who you know may be abusing these type of drugs and injecting drugs help them to get some information and to be tested to see if they fall in these two categories. Because the sooner they find out, the sooner that they can be helped. Now, the question is, what are club drugs? Club drugs include a variety of drugs, and they're used at bars and dance parties, and especially by high school and college students. Many people wrongly believe drugs are safe. No drug is safe. So we have to become knowledgeable of these club drugs and how they're affecting us. GHB use patterns. Most people who use GHB are between 18 and 30 years old. And between 1994 and 2002, there was 9,000% increase in emergency room reports of GHB use. 2% of high school seniors have tried GHB. And the facts are GHB is made in illegal labs. The ingredients are cheap and easy to find. It's a light powder that usually is dissolved in liquid and sold from a bottle. The physical effects are at high dosage. GHB can cause coma like sleep. If GHB is mixed with alcohol, overdose and death can result. So that's why they put on the bottles or they let you know, do not mix this drug with alcohol. Do not drive machinery with alcohol because you can have an overdose and death can result. Since 1990, 16,000 people have overdosed on GHB and 70 have died. Rofinol is a bit popular with youth because it is cheap. It's often sold in its original packaging, so people think it is legal. It is 10 times stronger than Valium. Me personally, when they put me on Valium, I did not like the side effects. I did not like the way it made me feel. So I immediately stopped it. But some people like the effects of it. So they tend to desire it more and more until they get addicted to it. Okay, the physical effects. Later effects include decreased blood pressure, slurred speech, impaired judgment, and trouble walking. And this drug can cause headaches, nightmares, tremors, muscle pain, and blackouts. Ketamine. Ketamine use has been steadily decreasing. And it is a white powder which can be added to drinks, snorted, or smoked. It has no smell or taste, so it is hard to detect. High dosage can lead to a feeling in which a person's senses shut down, the K-hole. At high dosage, ketamine can cause heart attacks, strokes, coma, and death. Club drugs and date rape. GHB, rohypnol, and ketamine have been linked to date rape. People who take these drugs that were mentioned just now may be unable to resist sexual acts. LSD, one out of every 10 people ages 12 and older has tried LSD. LSD is sold as tablets or dissolved onto blotter paper. It has a slightly bitter taste. And I just want to pause here because a lot of children who are beginning to take drugs and drink alcohol, I find that a lot of the parents condone their child drinking, and that's not good. But I also want to admonish, I want to let you know you need to observe your children, know what they're doing, know what they're taking, know what is happening in their lives so that you can help them get through whatever they have gone through and know the reason why they choose to self medicate or suppress the trauma that has happened in their life. Give them the necessary treatment that they need in order to be healed, to get over the trauma, to stop the drinking and the drugging. So, and a lot of us, and when I say us, I have put myself in there, but I got help. I may not have drank and drugged, but I have been traumatized and I sought for help. I went to talk to somebody. Yes, it's nothing wrong with going to talk with somebody. It's nothing wrong with getting help. It's nothing wrong with saying that I have a problem. I am not in control and I want to take control of my life. So you can. Okay, now the physical effects of LSD is high dosage produce hallucinations, known as a trip. Bad trips can cause confusion, panic, and terror. Also, the effects last 12 hours, often followed by depression and extreme tiredness. People who use LSD regularly can have flashbacks even without taking the drug. And LSD is linked to serious mental illness, such as depression and schizophrenia. Now, I'm thinking about in the beginning when we first start talking about this particular drug, it was saying that as young as age 12 uses it. They're nothing but babies. And a baby going through all this that we just talked about, how long the effects last and how it causes hallucination, it takes them on trips and everything. They should not have to go through all of this. And they have flashbacks, even when they haven't taken the drug. And also, it's linked to a serious mental illness. Parents, help yourself as well. But if you don't want to help yourself, please help your child or your children because it's not fair. It's not good for these children to be going in this direction or to remain unhealthy. MDMA, which is known as ecstasy, use began in clubs but has spread to other social settings. Ecstasy was used in psychotherapy, but proved to have no therapeutic value. And today it is a banned substance. Its physical effects. It causes increased heart rate and blood pressure, nausea, loss of appetite, jaw tightness, and teeth clenching. Ecstasy kills nerve cells in the brain. Also, it has been known to show that the damage can last at least 7 years. Wow. That is a long time. Now, I know that we're moving closer, but I'm going to give you a chance for those who have come on board, whether you on Facebook or on YouTube. I'm going to give you a chance to ask questions or even make comments because this is some serious information that needs to be taken and used. So I'm going to put the clock on for 30 seconds for anybody who would like to ask questions or maybe comment. Okay, time is up. So we're going to check to see if we have any comments or questions. Your comments will show up here on StreamYard, and when I click on comment, it will show any comments or questions on my screen. I don't see any, but I believe that this is all that I posted here for tonight because I did not want to go over my time because StreamYard has told us 45 minutes. And I want to make sure that I stay below that because they do charge extra to go past 45. But it's been a pleasure coming on here to give you this detailed information about opiates and clubhouse drugs. And if you were not aware before, you are aware now of the different drugs that we talked about tonight, and you can seek help for you, your children, other family members, co-workers, anybody that you want to get help for. The information is available to help us because I don't care how much they say it takes a village to raise a child, but I believe that it takes villages to raise an entire community. So we're going to come in unity and help provide a healthy world by helping one another get the information that we need to become whole. So, being that there's nothing else, I just want to remind you that we are coming back next week. And that's if we don't have any, and I truly believe that we're not going to have any technical issues. We're coming back strong as ever on Monday evening at 8 o'clock. That's what time our class is set for. I realize on Wednesdays and Thursdays we normally come on 7:30, but because of so many appointments and because others have been in need of my help throughout the day, I just pushed it up to 8 o'clock for those 2 days as well. So you can watch it whatever time that you want to after the live broadcast. You can watch it in 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Uh, Whenever it suits you, you can take another look at our broadcast. So remember last night I said how important love and hope is in our lives. And when we have love and hope, it makes a difference. It does the opposite of what trauma does. It does the opposite of what drug does. Always remember that you can be in control when you have love and hope. And know that because of our Creator giving us all love, because He is love, we have the love to show to one another that can help heal and change things. So we're going to leave on that note that with the love of God, I bring you good news each and every broadcast that you may make a better life for yourself. Uh, Monday is Wounded Families, Wednesday is Anger Management, and Thursday is Parson's Acts. And once again, I have broadcast or announced that we are doing face-to-face classes at Second Christian Church, 65 West North Avenue in Hagerstown. So if you don't feel as though that you need these classes, tell somebody. You know, you can't keep it to yourself. Just go and tell somebody about the good news that's coming across the airways and also in person at Second Christian Church. So I'll say good night. God bless you. See you next week.